You are with the Hound Gaming Podcast. This is Fox.
And Hound.
And today is a kind of day we've been waiting for a while, as I just got cursed out about 5 minutes ago, because I didn't want to give my pick for March Madness. I have kind of a theory on this now that I'm all caught up, and perhaps I have a bit of a bias.
Steer.
I really, really, really hope that Villanova goes all the way.
I mean, it's crazy you say that because I'm not kidding you. That's one of my four teams, but I circled them last night. I have the piece of paper to prove it.
That's funny because
Villanova could win. They got to win the tournament though, right? But they got to win their conference tournament.
Yes, they got to win their conference tournament. I mean, after kind of looking everything up and going through it, the coach Kyle Neptune, insane.
You like him?
Well, I mean, maybe I'm a little biased, but
Well, it's big because they've been a dynasty program for so many years, and their coaches, left, and now the first year they struggled. I mean, they're 16-15. Let's call it what it is.
True, but I mean, you also have to think this is a guy who came from building a team that was nothing into something, and now he has to kind of come playing, swinging in the big leagues.
Yeah. I think they're a funny, good pick too. But then again, by the time Selection Sunday comes, we could sound like the biggest idiots, which is just good. Hey, it's a risk versus reward. I guess.
True.
I think Villanova can do it too.
Yeah, but I mean,
they can win the conference.
I don't think Villanova is my end all be all. I think it's kind of.
Oh no.
It's I think it's kind of hard. Because I think Villanova is going to make it pretty far. I think they'll make it to the 8. They might make it to the 4. I don't know if they'll make it to the championship.
They have to win their conference championship, period. They won today. They're playing their next game. They have to win. They can't get in unless they win it because the 16-15 record, that's not going to get you in.
Yeah.
We won't get in the tournament. But my heavy favorite is still UCLA, hands down.
Gosh darn it.
UCLA.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, UCLA is my they are my go-to right now. I think that above anyone else. I think they're my go-to. I looked over everything they have going, their tangibles, their intangibles, everything about them is perfect. I don't think they have any problems right now. They're just going to kill it.
I think they're the best overall team. And then if I was to take a secondary big dog, I like Gonzaga. I like the way Gonzaga just came back, beat St. Mary's in their conference tournament, won the West Coast Conference again, and they're coming in with that Julian kid now playing really good. Like they're always in it. Gonzaga's always in it, and pretty good odds on Gonzaga. Like UCLA, you got pretty heavy favorites. If you bet them to take it all, they're plus 800. So you get 8 times your money. Not a bad bet. $20, 160 on that. And then Gonzaga is all the way up to like plus 2,000 to where you get 20 times your money. So you're talking about $20 to win 400 if you bet Gonzaga. And then, which takes me to my last one, Wake Forest, who keeps pulling it out. They're staying alive. It looks like they're going to make the tournament. And then they're at plus 40,000, which $20 wins you a real nice bet, like $8,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got it right now. That's mine. That's my spread. And then I got Villanova. So they gave me good odds on that. But
yeah, Villanova seems like the ones to go with. I'm going to be a little off the cuff. I think if Arizona can have a straight shot of playing better teams than them, I think they'll take it all.
They're strong. I mean, there's a lot of strong teams too that you're going to each one of the brackets. You could take your pick this year. I mean, UCLA is the most well-rounded, but you don't know what you're going to get going into this tournament because every team has been good. Every team has played every team pretty well, and I mean, the thing is, we're right at bracketology, right? Where it's like, right now, if you go to ESPN's site, they've got the bracket watch. Right now, the top overall seed, Kansas, and hey, that's Kansas, and they're coming off a championship still. Let's not sleep on Kansas. Right now, last team out after Reno, Reno University of Nevada lost today. They're done. Like they're on the bracket watch on Joe Lenardi's first team out, and then Utah State right now is last team in. The UNLV playing a huge game tonight for me because like if UNLV wins, they still have a shot. Mm-hmm. They probably might get they're 2 wins away. If they can get to the semis, they'll actually get into the tournament. They play Boise State right now, starting at 6. So much going on, man. So much going on. It's exciting.
Yeah, I think the thing to kind of watch for, especially right now, is what's going to happen in the next few days, right? So, and like you said, there could be a number of things that change. There could be so many different things that change.
Oh yeah.
Or all it takes is one thing to go right, to go wrong, what have you.
I mean, from now till Sunday, Selection Sunday is probably the most basketball action for college basketball because it goes into the Selection Sunday. They're going to pick the teams, and then it kicks off Tuesday with the first intro level rounds. And Vegas is already getting things popping off. Like at the Westgate, it's $45 for the VIP seats, and you get those Thursday and Friday from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's pretty dope. So you got little package deals going on. It's a huge thing out here in Vegas. It's second to the Super Bowl, man. It's March Madness. So it's like a holiday for me, man. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Gotta get you out here. I'm just kidding. It'll be the other way around.
Got yeah, no, I wish I could. I'll be watching it. I'll definitely be paying attention to the whole thing because once it does actually roll around, I want to be there. I want to make sure that I'm like watching, paying attention. I don't want to miss a beat. I want
to. When the second round games are in Vegas, right around the same time as me.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So if there's a big game that comes to Vegas, because they're talking about, I know it's crazy, man. Vegas is the mecca right now, dude. Like it really is the mecca, especially with the F1 coming at the end of this year around like the Las Vegas Strip being the main track, and that's in November, and then we got the Super Bowl right after that in Vegas, and then they're just doing the second round, third round, like NCAA games out here. No big deal. Then we got the Mint Collective, April 1, March 30th to April 2nd. Like, man. Yeah, because it'd be sweet if a good game came out here, especially like Wake Forest. I mean, I'll be pumped at that point. Like, I'm gonna be a super fan if they pull it off this year. If they do something, even if it's kind of deep, I'll be excited.
Yeah. Give me but 1 second. Yeah, outside of March Madness, though, how do you feel about some of these players? Because I mean, from what I understand, it's like Villanova has a few, Houston has a few. Everyone kind of just has everyone kind of has like a few players that everyone's like, oh, these guys are 1 or 2 of these guys are going to be great. It seems like every single player on UCLA is being talked about as an NBA prospect.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and Houston too. I mean, Houston really does have a pretty sweet depth chart. I mean, Houston's one that the last couple of years I've been big on. The only reason I'm really not going big on Houston this year is because they've let me down the last couple times. Like, so it's like, oh man, I don't know if I want to bet on them anymore. But I mean, if you look at Houston compared to UCLA, you would probably have the top two as far as NBA prospects. They're just deep. They're just deep rosters. I mean, Amari Bailey, UCLA, the shooting guard. Campbell, the point guard, nasty. I mean, even Singleton, Bona, they're basically four fucking, or just not like four prospects, coming out of UCLA, and then at Houston, Jamal Sheedy's been there the whole time, and he's probably just now like hungry for a title. He's been there. I think he's a junior. Sheed's probably one of the most well-rounded point guards. So, yeah, and those are two top teams. So there's a lot of players too, if you look at it from that aspect. But this is where the players are born. This is where Steph Curry was born. This is where Roy Hibbert went downhill. This is where NBA prospects are made, because you play the March Madness tournament, and I think that's what's so great about it. Look at Dwayne Wade. A star is born at Marquette. I mean,
yeah. Well,
these players get a chance now to create their dynasty.
And that's why you gotta look at some of these colleges and go, who has that one player that's a standout player. No, like you said, one of your brackets was completely destroyed by some kid from Davidson.
Yeah,
it's like that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
And that Georgetown team had Roy Hibbert. That's what's funny. It's like,
yeah.
He's supposed to be like Shaq, and he just never panned out.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I have to imagine, from what I remember reading, because I've only read a few books of people of sports. One of them being, of course, the man from Wake Forest, and from what I read, there wasn't really much of a program before Allen Iverson.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
And he kind of made it, right? Which seems
Chris Paul went through, man. Like, Wake Forest has had some interestingly good players. Like,
and another name that keeps getting brought up for kind of taking a title is Creighton.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about that, because I have to look at some of these teams, and it's funny to go, is this going to be the team that takes it all? You go, Villanova, are they going to take it all? Probably not. Kansas State, are they going to take it all? They probably could, but I mean, when you look at what they're up against, I don't think Kansas State competes against like a Houston. But then you look at like UCLA. You go, okay, well, why is UCLA so good? And it's like, oh, okay, because they operate so well in the paint. Their defense is amazing. And the only teams they've really lost to are teams like the team I think could take it all, and that's Arizona. I have a feeling
Arizona's really good.
I have a feeling Arizona can do it, because I looked at some of the weird losses that Arizona had this year, and they are weird, because it looks like Arizona primarily loses to teams that aren't ranked at all outside of the top 25. It looks like they lose to those teams pretty often, but they beat the teams that are listed better than them.
Yeah, which is big. Quad 4 wins, right? I mean, that's a big, stat, and it's very important to beat the good teams. And some of those other teams, that's where March Madness kicks in. You catch those random teams that you find out were actually really good, like the Davidsons, or your Wake Forest in those years where, like, oops, we're going against Allen Iverson. We thought Wake Forest was going to be an easy one.
Yeah. Well,
and that's the guy on Wake Forest I like this year, Tyree Appleby. I stick to it. I'm saying this Appleby kid's good enough. They're grinding it out. They're beating big time teams. North Carolina's now been on a comeback. They're now all of a sudden a threat. They're now looking like they're inside the tournament. So that game I watched Wake Forest earlier in the year that they stomped North Carolina, now looks that much better. And And they didn't start that one freshman kid until halfway through the season. That Monsanto kid that's just banging threes. So I'm really enjoying watching them. They won their first round of their tournament, and yeah, that's about the gist of it. I mean, college hoops, man. We're gonna find out Sunday.
Yeah, I'm excited for it because one, now that I'm in the realm of collection, opening up those Prism draft picks, it's fun to actually know some of the people now.
Right.
So I am excited for it. I'm excited to open a 101 Applebee's.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
No, I think it's gonna be more interesting. I haven't really watched a lot of March Madness, and the only reason behind that is because the last time I actually paid attention and watched it was with you, and I was in high school, and I remember sitting down with you and we watched it, and it was Georgetown Butler, I believe. And we sat down, and the highest scored points was like 6. I think it was like 68 to 66 or something.
I don't know.
I remember because it was like we sat down and we all looked at each other and we said, "This is the most boring game we've ever watched."
You're talking about the college championship. It was Butler, and it was like 48 points to 44. Like,
It was real low. It was terrible.
It was Kemba Walker, and I remember that game. I think it was actually maybe UConn versus Butler. Actually,
it might be. Butler. I just know Butler was involved.
It was Butler, and I'm pretty sure it was. I think that's where what's his name? That's where Kemba Walker at UConn. He made his name there. He won the title. They won a whopping 48 to 44 or whatever. Yeah, it's a different game now. That's how quick it evolves.
I mean, kids now are kind of slamming the ball at age 12. So
UCLA ain't scoring 44 in a game. It's impossible.
Number one offense, right? No, I think it's like number one offense overall, third ranked overall defense after what's it called, like analytics or whatever.
UCLA is good.
UCLA is. They're good, but they lose to Arizona. They lose to teams like that.
That's basketball. You're gonna lose games throughout. You're looking at teams you think come tournament time can get it done. They beat Arizona the next time. That's what you think.
True.
Arizona's good, but Arizona can beat UCLA in a season match. This is the end. This is to put it all together. What teams have the right personnel, and Arizona got them. Arizona's playing Stanford right now. They're only up a point, so they better worry about Stanford right now. They're winning 27-26.
That's the thing. That's a game they lose, right? Like I'm saying, they will lose games against teams that are just strictly worse than them. But for some reason, I looked it over. Outside of the 1-1 they have against UCLA, they don't lose to teams higher ranked. They just don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
Wake Forest lost today. Oh god.
I mean, they just about don't lose. They just about don't lose any game to a ranked team. But when it's like an unranked, or it's like a team that maybe they're like 25th or 24th, from what I saw, they lose those. They will lose those games and then go and beat a team like UCLA. And it's like, that's why I think Arizona has a chance to win it as long as they have a stretch of playing teams that are either A, highly ranked, or B, better than them.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about their competitive mojo that goes absolute, craziness. But they just decide, hey, time to go all out.
Dude, it's a crazy night now that I looked at all the games. I mean, Wake Forest did lose today. They lost to Miami 70. What was it? It was such a good game. Where is it? I just saw it. Oh no. I it was 74-72. Yeah, 74-72. They lost to Miami, and Miami's 25-6. So Wake Forest ends the season 19-14. They probably still they're going to get in with that, and they're going to get in with like a 8 or 9 seed, maybe 10 seed. Who knows? Maybe even lower. But they're playing good. Appleby scored 24 today, and Miami's number 14 overall. They're amazing. So that's the end of the road for them. But Miami moves on in the ACC tournament. Then you got Villanova versus Creighton tonight at 6:50. So that's a huge game. I mean, a big time game. That's
again,
everything.
Villanova has to win that game.
You have to. And then Virginia beat UNC today. North Carolina's out of the ACC tournament. So I think now it's Virginia versus Miami maybe, unless they have another round.
Jesus.
San Diego State barely beat Colorado State in the Mountain West tournament. I mean, they're 20th overall. They won 64-61. So UNLV playing Boise tonight's a big one. Arizona's losing, like I said, to Stanford 28-27. Baylor got beat, upset, number 10 overall Baylor by Iowa State. So Iowa State moves on in the tournament. UCLA beat Colorado 80-69. Duke's playing strong all of a sudden, beat Pitt 96-69. And then Kansas won their game over West Virginia 78-61. Tennessee, that's my other team, they beat Mississippi 70-55. And, basically we wait till tomorrow to see the semis and the finals, and yeah, it's going down right now. I mean, it's happening as we speak.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's what I'll say right now is if I had to just put money down right now, if I went into a casino or a sports book and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put $50 on a team right now, winning it all. I think UCLA is my bet.
Yeah, that's not a bad bet. It's not a bad bet. It's a good bet.
And where are you going?
I already bet. I took UCLA for 20.
There you go.
I took Gonzaga for 20. I took Wake Forest for 20, and I took Villanova for 20.
Yeah.
And I took Tennessee for 20. That was it. I took Tennessee for 20. So I put 100 down, and if one of them wins, it's big. If UCLA wins, that's 160, 170 or something. But if one of the other ones, if Wake Forest wins, I'm rich. That's $8,000. So
you never know. That's kind of
Wake Forest makes it like semi-close. You'll be seeing me with like Appleby jersey on, man.
Well, that's kind of like when your friend was playing for Northwestern, and I called them getting to the Elite Four.
Yeah, Sutton Lloyd.
Yeah.
Northwestern State, man, they were the real deal.
Northwestern State, they're going to the Elite Four.
They beat number 2 Iowa.
That's big.
Oh yeah, 15-2. That's real big. At the time, it was the biggest. It tied for the biggest. Since then, now all of a sudden, we had that happen recently, where the one beat the 16. The old legend of the one never lost to 16 seed. And now you see it more than anything. We have so much good basketball that even a 16 seed can come in and upset a number 1 seed.
Wasn't there a game at the very beginning of the year where like a team that had no business even being in the conversation almost upset another team? Was it Kansas State? Was it Kansas State that like they almost lost to like a high school basically?
Well, yeah. I mean, it happens all the time.
Crazy.
Basketball is all about Cinderellas. You hear the whole Cinderella thing being brought up all the time, and who's going to be this year's Cinderella? And there always is. There's always a Cinderella. There's always a team. I had it with South Carolina a few years back when they made it to the Final Four, and I gotta give Feezy some credit, because we were watching some conference games one night at the very end, and he was like, this one. He's like, look at these guys, and they did have a shooting guard and a center that were incredible. So I put some money down on it, and I bet them each week too, which was really nice. I was making money on them as they went, and they made it all the way to the Final Four and barely lost to Gonzaga that year. And they were like a 9 seed or 10 seed, and a Cinderella story. So you always get that Cinderella, and it's fun if you pick it. If you can pick a Cinderella, capture lightning.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean that's That's what a lot of people just hope for, right? Just hope that
It's a hard thing to do.
Calling the underdog team, because there's so many underdogs that it could be, right?
Yeah, 64 teams in.
What are you just gonna call every single underdog possible? Just hope it pans out, I guess.
Well, it comes down to players.
Yeah, true.
You know, I like a couple of players on Wake Forest. You defined it. You see, you like the 3-point shooting kid, the point guard. I mean, the fact they lost to Miami today, 74-72, is actually almost just as impressive. I mean, Miami has been one of the best teams in college basketball. They're 25-6, and they're a strong team. They've been up there all year, and Wake Forest has just been feisty, man. I mean, 19-14 is their final. I think they get in with that. That's right at the line, but I think they had enough big wins. But we'll see. I mean, we're about to find out. You know, because if Villanova somehow pulls it off, they're going to take a spot that was not, you know, people weren't even seeing that coming.
Yeah.
But Villanova does have to beat Duke. So let's
put up the Dukes.
That's the championship game, I believe. Yeah, they got to beat Duke. Yeah. Or they're in with Miami too. So, you know, because Miami, Duke, them, and Iowa State.
Jesus.
Like,
Jesus.
Yeah, or not Iowa State. Virginia. We just beat North Carolina. So Virginia, Miami, Duke, and then the winner of Villanova and Creighton. And Villanova, it's not easy.
I mean, Kyle Neptune. I'm holding out hope.
Yeah.
Kyle Neptune. If all goes well, I'm gonna call one of those guys that goes to the Mint Collective, and I'm gonna go call one of those guys that does like custom cards, and I'm just gonna have a Kyle Neptune card made for me, and it's gonna be like Kyle Neptune, but he's dressed as Sailor Neptune.
Sailor Neptune.
Sailor Kyle Neptune 101. That'll be my prize possession.
There it is.
But in the same realm as the future of the NCAA and these stars, you seeing what's going on with basketball? Not just Ja. I am here for the Ja conversation from, you know, however long we want to even approach that.
Ja needs to get his life together, and if he doesn't, then he can go away. If he does, then I'm totally fine.
I mean, apparently 0 charges pressed and a 4-game suspension.
Yeah, but he better just clean his stuff up.
But they're still going to investigate how did the gun get there. But not just that. Yeah. Someone else got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. What? I don't even remember the name. I guess I didn't even write it down. But there was another player who is now being accused of being involved with a drive-by.
Yeah, you need to get the name.
let me get the name. Let me get the name real quick, because I saw it in my feed and I was like, what is going on? And I just kind of passed it by. I was like, oh, wait, hold on. I need that. But yeah, I mean, you go, what's going on with Ja? What's going on with Alvin in the NFL? And you go, what's going on with these guys?
Yeah, I mean, so Alvin's suspended, right, this year?
Mm-hmm.
In how many games?
I don't know. They haven't said yet. I don't think. Also, it's not current, former NBA star Shawn Kemp.
Mm.
And so Shawn Kemp is the one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Is there just a level of care that basically is tossed to the side? Is that what it is? Like, you have so much money now, you have so much fame, you don't really think too much about your public image or something? I mean, I guess I can't really comprehend.
Delusional. It's surprising they don't have people around them to help them with how much money these guys are making, with the lifestyles these guys have, and how much this guy's not like he's the top 5 to top 10 NBA superstar. He's not like a bench dude. He's not even like a barely made it kind of guy. Like it's crazy. He doesn't have people around him. It's like, hey, so you're worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Let's make sure you don't bark like a gangster, right? Roll up on Foot Locker employees and then show off your custom handgun on Snapchat.
That you somehow
there's just got to be somebody
that you somehow
like, don't do that.
Because I heard it best said earlier. These players don't go on a regular flight. They're not going through security. Ja had this gun on the flight all the way over there, and now how? It's just a level of care.
150-mile-an-hour DeLoreans. How did really? they just do.
I also I just looked it up. It was last year Kamara got the 6-game suspension, but I'm saying that can't possibly be it because now he's going through the actual court trial. So I mean, for what he did, there's just a chance he's going to jail.
I'd have to look that back up.
Yeah,
but he's in trouble. I mean, yeah.
But with Ja, I'm so confused with the state of basketball and where it's at right now. I could name a lot of international players that are, obviously just top 10. Ja, I think, is the only American-born right now that's like in talks for those top 10.
Yeah,
like he is the only guy really being that American-made, American-born. You made it to the top.
Well, Jason Tatum,
yeah. I mean, Tatum's got it, but
I mean, Ja's right up there. I mean, those are your best, right? I mean, your best would be like Jason Tatum, like him.
I'm not gonna say Tatum's bad, right? Like, I'm not gonna say that out loud.
No, Tatum's awesome.
Tatum's great.
Amazing.
He's not Ja.
I mean, they're equally good if you look at their stats. Ja's more exciting. Ja would be like the Jordan style, if you would. I know that's a crazy count, that might be over top. But and then Tatum's a little bit more of like a Ray Allen style. Like Tatum's got the complete game. He's always going to be a superstar. But yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. He's that good. We're talking about him compared to Jason Tatum, who's on every Doritos bag in America. You know what I mean? Like, Ja Morant had risen that quickly, just by his dunks. He had never even been to a championship, or you know what I mean? Like he's just about to get started. We thought.
We thought
when he comes back. I
mean, we sure did think. We sure did think that Ja Morant was the future of the NBA, and whatever he's got going on, I know from what I've heard reported and what I've read myself. Now at this point, it seems like his father's went from being a father to being his boy. Like rolling with the crew, and it's
why not, right?
Well, I mean,
that's probably the problem right there. That's the problem right there.
It's a huge problem. Like being a father myself, and kind of like starting to understand that you can't be their best friend. You can't. It's impossible, because the second you start doing that is when you start seeing like misbehavior, and you go misconduct and everything else, and you go, all right, wait, I have to correct that. I have to be able to step in with a voice of reason and say, hey, this is why things have to be a certain way. The fact that John doesn't seem to have anyone like that in his life right now, that is sitting him down and going, hey, listen, you need to stop what you're doing right now. You need to turn around. You gotta go home, wipe yourself off, man. You're not a gangster.
Timeout.
You never will be.
Timeout, John.
He will never be a gangster.
But his dad's probably like, oh man, his dad's just feeding off the power. And you hear that in a lot of these incidences where people get famous or whatever. I saw a thing on Matthew McConaughey. It was on a podcast and with Jordan Peterson, and it's interesting because he talked about how when he became famous, all of a sudden his mom became a super fan and not a mom anymore. So when he needed a mom and someone to call, it wasn't a mom anymore. It was a super fan, and getting kind of used to that, having to like kind of just understand that and working around that, because in a lot of cases, the parent can become attached to the fame of that person, and if that dad's like, I would want to be a gangster. I mean,
there's so many.
Perfect time. His son has millions.
There's so many cases of that. I mean, look at like musicians, actors, look at all those people. You look at what's her Britney Spears. You look at Britney Spears. What's going on there? You look at Miley Cyrus, and it's like you have to look at Miley Cyrus and be like, oh, look at the fame that came up with that. And now you look at what's happening with Billy. What happened with Billy Ray, and he goes, "Oh, I'm a lot more famous now." And it's like, no, your daughter's famous. John, you are famous. You made it. You did it. You got to there. You got to the finish line, but you didn't cross. You think you crossed. This would be like Usain Bolt running the fastest 100 time, but right before he finishes, he stops. He stops at 99 and then just turns around and goes, "I did it. I beat the record." It's like, Usain, you almost. Almost. You're just so close. It sucks because you think of, I guess what gets a lot of people passionate about it is this is a guy who had nothing, he has nothing but opportunity ahead of him. People would give their life to be where he is at. There are kids who give their lives to be where he's at and don't make it.
Yeah, a lot.
He fits that talent. He fits that mold. That the age-old question: if I swapped bodies with a player, could they beat me in my body? Me personally, knowing my body, I think John Morant could do it. I think he's in that conversation because out of pure talent, you go,
he's good.
He's so good, and for him to be where he's at, top of the line, top of the food chain, John, you have a chance to take up this mantle from LeBron James, from Steph Curry, from these American-made masterpieces, and you're just.
This is a big step back. Yeah, I mean, look at his trading.
You know what, though?
The values are all just plummeting. It's like he's got work to do. He's got a lot to do, mainly with his reputation, and it's going to come down to him playing good basketball. He'll get forgiven.
You know what? He will get forgiven.
If he doesn't, he will get ridden out like a. Oh my gosh, that poor boy. He'll never play again because it'll be one or the other. He's either got to be great or nothing else. That's it. And keep his reputation nice.
Here's the thing.
For a long time.
Here's the truth. Kobe Bryant. I myself am a huge Lakers fan. I've been blessed to be a Lakers fan growing up with Kobe Bryant rather than Michael Jordan.
Rather than?
Huh?
What do you mean rather than?
Well, I'm saying I didn't get to grow up with Michael Jordan, but I got to grow up with Kobe Bryant, which is big. Oh no! I'm not starting that bag. I'm not opening that can of worms.
Hey, either way,
I'm gonna stick away from that one. One of them defined a generation. The other is Michael Jordan. But no, what I was gonna say is Kobe Bryant. What, year 3, year 4, had what I would say an equally bad thing happen to him.
What?
I mean, the rape accusations.
Yeah, and he got through it. I forgot about that. That was a big deal.
That was a huge deal, and it would have happened, I think, a little after, because what, John Morant's only in his second, third year.
Yeah.
So you go, it happened around the same time. John Morant is following at least a close line, but what he doesn't have is that Mamba mentality right now. If he wants to come back,
how Mamba handled that. He was honest. He bought his girl a fat ring that was worth millions, and then he changed his number, and he did what I'm saying. He was great, so he was forgiven because he didn't go out anymore. He didn't party anymore. He really did put all that extra time into the gym. He was already great as a number 8. You know what I mean? He was.
Yeah, he was.
He was also very great as 24, and that was literally the post-rape accusation period. That was rough.
It's somewhat sad that an athlete just has to be good enough to be forgiven, but at the same time, it's not incorrect. I think John has.
It goes hand in hand with your reputation. If you actually stop going out to Foot Lockers and doing stuff and smuggling guns on planes, and you actually focus on the game 100%, it will show in your game, especially if you're as good as Ja Morant. So it's really up to him at this point. Either he comes back great from this, his reputation is flawless, or he doesn't come back at all.
Yeah, and that's it. I wish he would step back from that ledge, my friend.
Yeah, he might.
He might. I think he will. I think he's going to do just fine. I think he'll turn it around. And then year 1 after his rebrand, I'm gonna go get myself some Jaws, and I'll be digging it from there.
I hope so.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping. But I mean, as far as anything else goes with Ja, I wish him nothing but luck. I wish him the best.
Yeah, I want him to come through. I mean, the guy has got a great game.
Yeah,
he's got a great game. He plays a great game of basketball.
To kind of follow that up with people who haven't ruined their careers, but are having their careers currently ruined. What's your stance currently going on with the Ravens and Lamar Jackson? I know we talked about him being franchise tag. I didn't realize when I first read it what franchise tag he was given.
I don't understand what's going on with Lamar Jackson. I can't get it because I hear people on the radio like, "Oh, he's about Justin Fields caliber." Like, no, this is MVP. Has a win percentage slightly behind Pat Mahomes. This is a absolute superstar athlete, and him getting paid like Deshaun Watson is completely out the window. If even half at this point, who knows what's going on? I don't get it. I think it's a point that they're trying to prove with maybe his mom and him being his own agent, because at this point it's ridiculous. What's going on? Like, Lamar Jackson's not a superstar.
Well, the thing that kind of I'm gonna use some language. It really ticked me off. Really ticked me off. No, I was pissed off when I first heard Atlanta stepped forward specifically to say we're out. What?
All these teams, who even does that? There's actually a rumor that there's collusion going on amongst the team owners.
I believe it. So, I believe it. I believe that the Ravens right now are in the worst possible spot, and there are so many teams that could just open up the floodgates, pay Lamar close to what he wants. They don't have to give him what he wants.
The
They just have.
Commanders,
I think
the
they just got to get
Falcons,
close.
The Colts. There's so many teams that could use Lamar freaking Jackson. And, I mean, I guess everybody is sleeping on him and thinks he's done. I don't know. He's
Lamar goes to the Colts. It's a Super Bowl team. And there's
definitely
you don't fight that. There's nothing else to that. You have, if he goes to the Colts, you have easily the easiest team to build around. Offensively, it's almost already done. And then defensively, it's a fantastic.
You got the Eagles offensive coordinator is the new head coach there. So he like playing with Jalen Hurts. He'll love playing with Lamar Jackson.
He'd love Lamar. It's a Super Bowl team. If the Colts pick him up,
he'd be looking like the Philadelphia Eagles next year. You know what I mean? That they're coming out.
And the same exact thing
every time. Like good, Lamar loved going for it on fourth down.
The same exact thing could be said about a team like the Cowboys. If the Cowboys opened up and said, "Oh, we'll trade Dak and we'll redo a contract fix and we'll get Lamar in the program," and now Lamar's playing with the star on his helmet. My God.
Yeah, but Jerry Jones is in love with Dak Prescott, and any of the social medias, but Jerry Jones, like, I love him. I want to hug him. Like, Jerry Jones just gets obsessed with his quarterbacks that are there. So it is what it is.
You know what? No. You know, I'm wrong on every front. I'm wrong on every front. There's only one team he needs to go to, and it is the team.
The Jets.
The Jets.
The Jets win the Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson.
Jets. They're not a Super Bowl team. They are a Super Bowl winning team with Lamar Jackson. That defense.
Oh my God, that defense.
It would be called. I mean, this would be known as the Attitude Era of Lamar Jackson and the Jets.
You got Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall.
You just call them the Lamar Jetsons.
But it's the Aaron Rodgers thing. But yeah, if somehow.
Get Aaron Rodgers out of the conversation already.
Lamar Jackson, if Lamar Jackson goes to the Jets, I'm getting a Jackson Jets jersey, and I'm a Jets fan as my side team immediately, just because Tom's also going for the Bucs. I'm still always going to have a heart for the Bucs. They're your Bucs, but I'm not expecting much in 2000.
We don't got to talk about it. I'm going to wait next year. Sorry. I'm going to save up a ton of money so that I can buy out every single Buccaneer break and every case of Panini Bowman U or whatever, so that I can just have as many Caleb Williams cards, because he will be on the Bucs.
That would be sweet.
But no, so here's kind of where I'm sitting. The Jets, right? Because I want to pour more energy into that right now. Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers goes to the Jets. I can tell you what's going to happen. I know exactly what's going to happen because it happened. It happened this year, and people they're not learning. Look at the Packers receivers this year.
Yeah.
They're not bad. The Packers had good young receivers. Two great rookies in Dobbs and Watson, who exploded. But at the same time, Dobbs, one of the top prospects coming out of college for receiver, and then Watson comes in and looks fantastic. And you have Lazard, who he's just a fantastic veteran to have on your team.
Yeah.
He couldn't get it done with those three halfway through the season. Do the Jets really want to take the time for Elijah Moore, Braxton Berrios, and Garrett Wilson to become comfortable with the darkness melding monster that is Aaron Rodgers?
I think he's done. I think he's done. I think if he goes to the Jets, it's a mistake.
If the Jets take Aaron Rodgers, I think it's a mistake. I think if the Jets don't try to pursue either A, a higher draft pick, or B, Lamar Jackson. I mean, that's it. Enough said. Lamar Jackson Lamar Jackson and the Jets wins a Super Bowl. I don't think there's a question about it in my eyes.
But they're all doing him dirty.
Well, everyone's capping because they're just everyone's being dumb, going, man, Lamar Jackson, yeah, but his MVP season was back in 2019. Like, I'm sorry, was that like a decade ago in your head, or what do you think? People are acting like he didn't have an amazing season last year when Lamar Jackson was winning that division, a division that everyone says belongs to the Bengals. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase run that division. They do run that division, unless Lamar Jackson's there.
Yeah, he's coming back.
Lamar Jackson plays against the Bengals in the playoffs. I think the Ravens win. But the thing is, I can't blame Lamar Jackson for not playing in the playoffs. Everyone's going, oh, why didn't he return? There's got to be something to it. It's like, no. What you don't understand, RG3 brought it up the best. He ruined his career by going back out onto the field when he wasn't fully healed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
when his contract wasn't fully paid. When he was still just kind of getting into the mix. And you go, it wrecked RG3. It would have... throw Lamar Jackson into the Bengals game in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson gets injured. That's the end of his career.
Yeah.
It's the end of his career. I don't want to see that happen. And I think the Jets, if I was going to name 3 teams that Lamar Jackson would be perfect on right now, like just right off the rip right now, the Jets are number 1, the Colts are number 2, and I think the Atlanta Falcons are number 3. And for them to have the audacity, God, man.
What about the Commanders? They got rid of Carson Wentz. You know.
Stop.
DC.
Stop.
He goes right across from Baltimore to DC. He just goes right at the end.
True. Across the water. Right. I mean, sure. I guess that'd be kind of a big move. Hey, but at the same time, I would still disagree with it because that division is unwinnable for him. Not with the Commanders.
He'd make it tough.
He'd make it tough, but not with the Commanders.
We'd be looking at Daniel Jones, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and Dak Prescott.
I mean, it would be the quarterback club division.
We remember, though, the last hyped quarterback club division. That was Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, and Pat Mahomes came through, but that was supposed to be the greatest. I mean, Derek Carr pretty much screwed that up.
Yeah.
Like he's going to screw up New Orleans. That was a bad move, but whatever. I mean, I feel like that.
The thing is with New Orleans,
signing Andy Dalton again.
But you know what? Here's the thing. It is, yeah, he's very Andy Dalton-esque for sure. He's not the best, not by a long shot. But he's got a better chance over there than he ever had where he was against a Denver defense that was still like a top 10 defense against the Kansas City Chiefs, who are maybe Super Bowl contenders every year. And then you also still have to...
the Chargers.
Yeah, you still have to play Justin Herbert and the Chargers, which, you know, he was never going to win that division.
Yeah,
but
I see your
now
point,
he's
going to a division now that's
the most winnable division in football.
Yeah.
And then, you know, as a
Saints, Bucks, Falcons.
I'm wearing a Bills hat right now.
Hey, don't sleep on Josh Allen. I mean, he didn't get it this year. If he puts it all together at the right time, you know.
Well, it also looks like Diggs is moving. Did you see what Stephon Diggs actually did recently? Did you hear what someone found out?
No.
It was like last night, over the course of 24 hours, they found out that Stephon Diggs had on Twitter unfollowed the Buffalo Bills and recently followed the Cowboys.
Oh man. Don't get me excited.
You know who the Cowboys are also supposed to be getting, right?
T. Higgins.
There's 4 names being tossed around for them right now. Or no, there's 3 names. One is being tossed around for the Chiefs. T. Higgins going to the Cowboys. That's one of the names being tossed out. And then you have now Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, wow.
And then you also have DeAndre Hopkins, who everyone is saying is probably going to
Jones.
He's either going Cowboys or he's going Chiefs.
Oh man.
So I mean,
those are 3 big receivers. Just
I mean, those are 3 huge names. Those are 3 starters wherever they wanted to go.
Well, that's why. I mean, I'd be fine with any of them. I would probably prefer not DeAndre Hopkins, just because I feel like CeeDee Lamb is too much like him. I feel like they'd be awesome. Don't get me wrong, I'd take Hopkins in a heartbeat, but I feel like if you match him with a Diggs, oh my gosh, that's hard to stop. Or T. Higgins, really. I mean, T. Higgins compliments everybody great. You know, T. Higgins is a star in his own right. So is Diggs. I mean, geez, my God, I'd take any of 3 of those receivers. Cowboys Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Dak Prescott.
Well, Dak Prescott, right? It's like that's
Throw a pick. Throw a pick on a hitch route like you did against San Francisco to start the game, just to get one out of the way.
Yeah, I mean that's their current problem, right? Is
he missed 6 games and still threw 15 interceptions and led the league in picks. Go Dak. Go Dak.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
He's good for 1.5 a game on average. That's his over under.
That's crazy. But yeah, on the subject of Lamar, I think absolutely no one wants to be outdone by someone who doesn't have proper representation. It's like I was talking to Lanita earlier about how I can almost guarantee I know who's gonna be on the cover of like the next set of sports cards next year. And she's like, "Oh, is Cooper Kupp gonna be on him?" I was like, "No." I love Cooper Kupp. He won't be on. Josh Jacobs will be. But it got me thinking about Lamar Jackson and being like, man, he's gonna have like no sponsors still. He's gonna have no representation still. He's gonna have. It's sad because I'm like, he is easily the most marketable person you could have. I mean, I think about the first time I set foot on a football field, and I went out with Pops to go get shoes, to go get cleats. And you know what cleats I picked?
What?
I looked, I went, man, those are nice. Oh, those are nice. Those are nice. And then I saw them right in the center stage, and I went, what are those? And the guy goes, these are the new Vicks.
Yeah.
The fact Lamar doesn't have that, it blows my mind.
Yeah.
He is Michael Vick times 10. He is exactly what Mike
times 10.
Not times 10. I'm being.
That's the godfather of That's the godfather of the running quarterback.
Yes, I'm being dramatic, but the fact of the matter is, Boomer once said, after watching Lamar Jackson run like a 40-yard touchdown, he said, "We will never see a quarterback like him again." Here we are in the future with Lamar Jackson, and he puts on clinics. He's a doctor. He puts everyone on the operating table.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good. He's
You
really good at
can't
football.
predict him. You put out a QB spy. If they're not running a 4-4, they ain't catching him.
Plus, he's got a great arm.
He's got a cannon, and he's accurate. And people want to act like, oh, well, he's not very accurate. He can't launch him very far. It's like, you got to be kidding me.
He came out in his opening debut because all the media was giving him crap, and he threw for like 250 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Like he can even do what he wants when he feels like doing it. His win percentage, like I said, is only slightly behind Mahomes. I mean, he's got a better win percentage than Aaron Rodgers' historic career than everybody. Aaron Rodgers, like Lamar Jackson's is a winner. I mean, he wins on the pace of like Tom Brady, and it's ridiculous. Like how much he's been slept on, and he's great.
He was leading his division before he got injured. The thing is, and everyone wants to point it out, but he's injury prone. Okay, I hear you. I'm listening. It's entering my canals. But then I have to clinch up. I cringe a little and I go, if I was someone who my whole career depends on me giving 100% while also getting paid millions to do it, and if this doesn't happen, I don't have a career anymore. I'm not going out on that field. If I'm not getting paid, I mean, yes, he is getting paid money.
Well, no.
If I'm not getting paid enough to secure my future, I'm not stepping back out on that field.
No, 100%. He wasn't getting paid, so that's another factor on top of it all. So
yeah.
But anyways, not to change the topic completely, but UNLV, by the way, was down 16 at the half against Boise State.
Jesus Christ.
They're only down by 6.
Ooh.
They're on a comeback. There's 11 minutes left, and they're playing great basketball. They did a couple threes. Boise State is 23-8. The Rebels are at 19-12. We're right outside, right on that bubble. And man, a win would be great. A win would be awesome.
Looks like Kansas State and TCU is still going tit for tat right now.
But in other news, have you played any more of Hogwarts Legacy?
I have not. I actually wanted to boot it up last night, but I got busy coming up with the new format. I got busy coming up with that format and creating this incredible new intro song, and it'll also kind of double down as an outro as well. But
let's do it.
No, I want to hop back into Hogwarts, but I reinstalled the game and I have yet to open it back up and try to go through that segment, because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and play a little bit of it before streaming it again. I'm going to try and play it for an hour or so, see if I can just record it, not stream it. That way I still kind of get some footage of it and whatnot. But I just want to figure that one out, because it made me think. I was like, well, is it my computer? But I mean, I've run some powerful games before and not had this issue, so I don't like this. Which does make me think of my setup, and I'm like, yeah, I guess I could have a better setup. But get to that road when we come to cross it.
Yeah, there's a lot, man. We're running out of storage in the cloud. I just got a notification today that we're already at 75% of our Google Drive storage capacity, and I'm like, that makes sense. I mean, we're loading videos, content, photos, and I'm like, we're just dirtying up the digital stratosphere or whatever's out there, the invisible cloud that we're storing all this stuff in. But Hogwarts wasn't running good. We just got to find a new. We got to get the G7. They got to get the new G7 going. Or it'll be G6 at this point. What's the Android at?
Not sure. I mean, I know
If you're selling,
I'm due to go get a new phone soon. Let me.
You gotta always get a new phone.
Yeah, I need a new phone. I need new stuff. Let me see here. Looking for this Android version 12 right now. So it looks like they're moving along. But yeah, I think Android. I think what I have is a Galaxy. I think I have a Galaxy Note 10, which is like 5 years old.
Ancient at this point.
Ancient, yeah.
The 2007 iPhone just sold for $63,000. Yours is already up to like $2,000. It's a relic. Put it on an auction.
Oh God, relic. It sure is.
It's a relic.
It's a relic. You sent me those 3 cards. You have no idea how long it took me to search for those 3 cards. I couldn't find them.
Yeah.
And when I did, I found them, and I looked, and I was like, I don't even think I'd have the heart to tell someone that the card they're keeping in a magnetic case doesn't cost as much as the magnetic case it's being held in.
Well, but hey, just in general, like, if you look at some of these collectors, if you go online, it's an interesting world of collectors, and there's a lot of shade, first off, being put into the industry, if you will. Like, I'm sure you're in the same boat as I am, where you're on Facebook, Insta, whatever social media. For me right now is all cards, probably because I've delved fully into that world. So you see a lot of people on there, like, they just don't know the values of certain cards, and then everybody's throwing shade, and I feel sorry for the poor soul that puts up that wax that's like unconfirmed and like, oh yeah, $500, and it's like, dude, like, and you just know he's gonna get torn up. You look at the comments and it's like, bro, the card's $4.
Yeah. Well, and it's
the card's 50 cents. That card, because it's a wild world out there. It's a very wild world.
That's what I was saying. Is the world of cards. Now that we're kind of getting into it, you've kind of seen exactly what I looked into, like, immediately, where I was like, whoa. Collecting the cards is only cool. Selling the cards, not as cool. Selling portions of the cards, really cool.
Well, yeah, really, it makes sense to me, just because if you think about card breaks in the break world as a whole, if I'm a Niners fan or I'm a Cowboys fan, well, I am a Cowboys fan, right?
Mm.
So I want to collect Cowboys cards. It actually makes sense to get in on these breaks for these collectors, because you know more than anybody. I wouldn't be teaching you anything about collecting, but as far as like the way you can collect, you can buy from a person one card at a time. You can buy boxes, you can shred them, you can do whatever. And the card breaks is this new awesome concept that is frowned upon in some senses, because it's like, well, why wouldn't you just buy the whole box? But if you're a collector of a certain player and a certain team, then it makes 100% sense why you would say, okay, I want to jump in on this awesome break and get a higher chance of getting the players I want, because you wouldn't have to buy the box, you wouldn't have to spend the extra money on that. So I think it's actually a great design, and it's great for the fans that are collecting certain cards if break houses are done right,
And
some of these,
and that's a big thing that happens nowadays, because a lot of people also bounty hunt. I don't know if you've run into any people that do breaking cards or whatever, and they bounty hunt as well, where basically they'll say, hey, I'm breaking these cards, but then they'll also front forward say, hey, by the way, I'm bounty hunting this specific card. If this card gets pulled while you guys are buying in, I will pay face value price for this card. and that's bounty hunting.
Well, that's great.
And you go, that's just another portion of it, because then it inspires people to go, oh, well, I guess I'll buy that team, because if that card comes up, then I get paid.
Yeah, and they get the card they're looking for. I mean, yeah, I'm excited, man, because April 1st, obviously we're going full-fledged all in to do our own breaking channel, and we're gonna kick butt and really make sure that everybody has a good time, because you got to do it right, and you got to make sure that these collectors have an opportunity to join that break, because the break that I did with your boy E, and just really understanding that the package you get is way better, and realizing like that's a very good way to collect a certain a certain thing that you're looking to collect. It really is. It's
I mean, gone are the days of saying, I guess I'll go spend $1,000 on boxes of cards. Instead, I'll spend, I'll spend $300 on 10 different breaks, buying the Cowboys 10 times. And now I'm collecting all the Cowboys I want. I don't need to specifically buy boxes and then have my heart broken when the only thing I get is Young Hoku 101, and I go, oh, well.
Right.
It's like, I think the whole breaking community is fantastic. I think it's a great opportunity for people to actually get what they want out of it. And the way we're going to do it, I'm hoping anyways, is a little revolutionary, because I think giving the discounts to the returning buyers and actually building a loyalty system with people, it's not something I've seen yet. I haven't really seen breakers that give back to their community in a long investment kind of way, and I think that's a genius way to do it.
Oh yeah, just unlimited discounts for ones that play over time, and the loyalty program is awesome. It gets all the way to 15% off every single buy. So if you're going in to buy a team, and you get a 50% lifetime discount. But it's definitely a cool aspect of it. And then on top of that, just giveaways and the stuff that we're gonna implement. That's awesome. And yeah, I'm super excited, and I want to make sure that the collectors come and have a good time and get some good cards. And I can't wait.
Yeah.
The Mint Collective show coming up. I watched just some YouTube stuff on it to get pumped up and ready, man. It's a big deal. It's a huge show, and yeah, I mean, we're going to be going to that March 30th through April 2nd.
Yep.
It's the big show, baby.
Yep. So I'll be out there the 28th. That's my game plan right now. I'll be out there the 28th. I'm probably gonna fly out there myself, so it'll just be me.
Yeah. Sounds good.
No, I'll probably be out there the 28th to about the 2nd. Like, I'll probably be off the morning of the 2nd or something. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I told you earlier, my hairs were actually like standing up on my neck. I got excited, and I started writing a bunch of stuff down and getting stuff collected. And no, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
I'm ready for it too, man.
But to get into a crazy story, I'm gonna do mine, because I had one from last week, but you had a pretty crazy story yourself. So something I looked up and I found was a Chinese college, and accompanied with a Chinese institute out in China, put together a system in which if you don't like your autograph or you don't like your signature, you can have essentially plastic surgery for your signature. So, so it is a system in which it basically forces you to write a specific way, so that if you would like to change the way you sign on paper, you can change your signature. What's the application of this?
Surgery is involved?
Yeah. From what I was reading, there's active surgery that happens to the actual hand itself, and what happens, they change how you sign, how you autograph. And
that seems a lot.
That seems insane.
A lot.
That seems but here's my thing. The bulk information that I read about was you actually choose what you want your signature to look like beforehand. So they basically will show you a bunch of options and go, "Hey, your signature could look like this, or your signature could look like that. What do you want? What do you want?"
Based on the amount of cartilage in your hand, that's crazy.
Yeah. So it's and I'm just like, what the actual hell is going on? Because
you just have a calligraphy teacher come and be like, "Hey, look, here's how you write this. Like,
yeah,
how you want it to look like."
Yeah. It's kind of that, because that's what happened to me when I was first getting into the Air Force. I was signing a bunch of paperwork, and my recruiter goes, "Hey, you're taking way too long to sign stuff." And I looked down at my signature, and I was like, I'm just writing my name out. I'm just, cursive writing my name. And then I was like, you know what? He's got a good point. So my signature gradually grew into vaguely a K, into vaguely an L, followed by some squibbles. And it's like that became my signature because I now know how to autograph fast. But I guess if I wanted to change how I did it, I could. Thing is, the implications of this, right? The implications of being able to change your signature at any given time. What if I just wanted to have Tom Brady's signature? Do I can get plastic surgery to have Tom Brady's signature?
I just don't get it. I'm not understanding why plastic surgery or how that's going to make your, like, what if their IQ is off or something? I mean, like, I feel like there's other factors that have to do with signing a certain way, unless, like, they just truly, like, drink the juice and they're like, "Oh, now that my hand has been scientifically modified, I can write like that." And then you just do. It's like, I believe it. I can achieve it now that I spent $10,000 to get my hand modified. Now I believe. Now I know I can sign like Tiger Woods. Like,
I can sign my Titleist, Tiger Woods.
What?
Yeah,
what
that's
world are we living in?
Well, we know the world we're living in. It's weird.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, what's stopping people from just stealing other people's signatures?
Right. I'm going to open a company on the side called American Organic Signature Training. And you have guys out there with scrolls. Like, sit down, pick a signature, and in 2 days, we'll have it for a quarter of the price of the plastic surgery shop next door.
Because what would be the difference of that and just someone who is, like you said, just a calligraphist? That's just, they're able to perfectly write exactly what someone else can do. People can already do this. To what end is plastic surgery to the hand going to change the way you sign?
Right. Hey, Doc, Frankenstein me up real quick. I need my signature to look more like Bryce Harper's. Like, what?
At least for the next year, he's popping off.
Chop, Doc. And then I'll be back next year to get some more chop done so I can sign like Dikembe Mutombo. I mean, what the heck? Like, what a weird industry. But hey, more power to them. If they're making money doing it, then God bless them.
If you are making...
People signing up for that, obviously. Like, I want mine to look like Tom Cruise.
Hey, you know what? To that end, to that end, if you get paid to do what you want to do, hey, do whatever it is that makes you happy.
You want Kenny Power Gray, man.
You want to you want to point your gun on your Instagram You want to make sure that your mom can get you the best deals in the NFL? Hey,
Here's the other side of it. It leads perfectly into my weird article. Good, because getting paid can only go wrong one way. So here's my weird article of the week,
Sure.
and it guess it kind of goes hand in hand. Florida mom devastated. She can't volunteer at school because of OnlyFans account. Lawsuit says Victoria Treese is suing Orange County Public Schools. So basically, this mommy she's hot, man. These pictures are ridiculous. Like
Mommy,
she's wearing like
yeah.
yeah, mommy has an OnlyFans. She's banned from the school ground. She's banned from like volunteering, but yet they still like have her like right off campus. Like she still does stuff for the school. She said she cried for an hour when she got the news. It's a big news article, and just the hypocrisy of it all, because this was like her favorite thing. She's got crazy sexy pictures for her OnlyFans, and she's a mom, and she's getting paid, and she's getting banned from the mommy time event.
I mean,
which ironically, when they interviewed her, was why she got in the first place, because she said all the after school programs and everything were so expensive.
which I mean, if you're gonna get paid, I mean,
has a downfall.
Everything has a downfall. And for that, I feel like OnlyFans is such a niche thing that's like, if you can get in there and you can make actual money from OnlyFans, just do it. It's fine. Do your thing.
From volunteering for the next school play.
I guess it's just, I guess my only concern is, imagine for a moment, right, that, well, I don't know what's probably one of them. Sasha Grey is probably one of the more famous names out there. Sasha,
sure.
Huh? Yeah. Sasha Grey, from what I've seen, has like her own Twitch channel now, and the thing is, she wants it to be completely separate from what her life was before.
Yeah, that's tough to do.
You can't go back, Jack. You can't go back. It's unfortunate. It's part of the world.
I could never date Sasha Grey or like they'd be like, I'd be too tempted to just go watch the videos and be like, God, really?
Really? Really? Yeah. Well, and that's why with Sasha Grey, I could imagine her having a child, her child going to school. What? Someone at her school board meeting is going to meet Sasha Grey and not know who she is and be like, "Oh, Sasha, it's great to meet you. Wait a minute, you're banned. Actually, you're banned." It's like, well, come on, you can't. The thing is, and this is a big difference, and this is why I'll never understand it. This is just me personally. If you're going to pay for a service, why would you pay for a service that's just already free?
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. But my big thing is, in the two instances, I feel like Sasha Grey would get away with it. Sasha Grey would be fine because maybe it's just been enough time. She's not actively doing anything anymore. She's just kind of her own person. Whereas this Florida woman is, okay, you're banned because you're actively doing stuff on your OnlyFans. You have to pay for an OnlyFans account to know what that person's doing on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay.
Which a lot of the husbands probably are.
You don't have to pay to see what Sasha Grey is up to.
That's true.
So where's the line here? Is the line, is it that, okay, we don't want you to do that because what you do and what you represent is totally different from what we believe, what we want around children. Here's the thing. You don't want that around children. Maybe, just maybe, and this is me personally, perhaps your children they're gonna know what OnlyFans is, right? They're just going to, because that's how the world works. They're gonna hear it at some point. They can know what it is. Just because you know what it is doesn't mean you can go in and really look. You'd have to pay money.
Yeah.
And from I am aware that there's free content on OnlyFans, but I feel like you're not going to put out the free content if your whole goal of OnlyFans is to get paid. Like, the free content you have is probably very minor, not too risque.
Yeah.
Like, I could imagine, like, the free content on OnlyFans, you could have free content on OnlyFans and just be, like a Facebook profile picture, but then the next picture is, you goat seeing with a, monster accompanying you. But, like, you'd have to pay for that. If a child, a 12-year-old, right? Let's say 12 or 13-year-old. If a 12 or 13-year-old is able to get onto a computer with a credit card and pay for OnlyFans, I cannot blame that child for that.
No, I mean, sure. It's a wild generation of parenting, too. I mean,
I can't help but feel like the reason this woman would get banned would be so that, hey, we the women that are a part of this schooling community would really prefer if you weren't around, because our husbands 100% have seen your content.
Giving her more media credibility. That girl's now getting OnlyFans from all kinds of students and people all over the globe now. You know what I mean? Like, they just created her. Good for them. I mean, she's now on the internet and everywhere. It's like rap music. When they tried to shut down NWA, they created the rap industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they tried to shut them down, and all you did was build them up.
Yeah, don't go watch them. They're anti-police. Yeah, police. Police.
Straight from the underground.
Yeah, same thing here. It's like, oh, let's pitchfork this girl and get her out of town. Now she's on the news. Now her OnlyFans is blowing up. She got a picture on there too that makes me want to subscribe. I'm like, what is it?
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? It's like how, it's one of those things. It's like if I had someone like, oh, I don't like that you do OnlyFans. It's like, why, have you tried it? If I was a female in that specific situation where I had an OnlyFans, which I have often said, if I was female, absolutely, I'd have an OnlyFans in an instant. I'd sell out like that. I'd be so quick off my rocker, you couldn't stop me. It's like, I see how much money you can make off that stuff. You don't got to be that attractive. You just gotta be female. Is a big portion of it.
I'd go all in on like a foot fetish thing, so I don't have to get too dirty. I just touch things with my feet.
Yeah, you can do that too.
But instead, we got to do cards because we don't have that luxury.
instead, we got to get some schlubs who have probably won the lottery or hit big at a casino to come in and buy the 49ers for $200.
Yeah.
But play to your strengths, right?
Yeah.
I have charisma of the mouth, not the body.
Right.
Sorry, I'm also keeping an eye on our YouTube chat, and I just noticed, can you open card packs with your feet? And I think that's where we call it tonight.
Yeah, I can open card packs with my feet.
Absolutely, right?
Definitely.
I think I know what I'm going to call this now. What I'm going to call this episode.
Card packs with your feet.
John Morant's OnlyFans.
Well, it was a good sports episode. I got nothing else.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it for me. I mean, tonight, 100% test drive. I'm gonna play the outro to kind of play us off, and then we'll go from there.
We got an outro.
Yeah, but we got an outro. I finally did it. After you made fun of me last week, I went out, I made it, I did it. We have it. So I'm gonna let that play out for the full limit of it. And until next week, we will catch y'all later.
Bye-bye.